could have.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the Crypto Hipsters Curtain Calls. These are compilations of 4 episodes from season 6 through 8, 4-minute clips from 4 people, and amazing podcast conversation to cover. What this covers is the title of this episode is, you're going to like this one. People are people, so why should it be? Intellectual property advancement should develop so effortlessly. We're talking about content creation. We're talking about intellectual property management. We're talking about helping others who are involved in content creation and proof of humanity. And what's human? What's real? What's not real? What's a bot follower? What's a content creator? What's their definition? All that is covered in this episode. This episode has a compilation from 4 different interviews I had over the past 3 seasons, from season 6 to 8. So the first clip is from Jameel. He doesn't spell his name Jamil. He spells it Jameel. Jameel Qeblawi, who is the founder and chief architect of myqubator, and that's in Dubai. And that was our conversation. It was from September 2024. The second person is, his name is Lasha Antadze. He is the co-founder of Rarify Labs, and that was from season 6 and early September of 2023. The third conversation, and I was live, it was Crypto Hipster on the ground at Consensus 2024. The third person is Krystyna Kozak-Kornacka, and she is the CMO at Cookie3. And we talk about vanity metrics, the importance of that, and or the unimportance, or how to distinguish if it's vanity or actual metrics. And then we have, to round it off, Christopher G. Fox, who is the founder of Ideas-Led Growth. I spoke to him most recently, and that was in May of this year, 2025. And we talked about getting on board the Ideas Sled. So this is an amazing compilation of 4 episodes. Check it out and enjoy.
myqubator, I'll get into myqubator's model a little bit further in my answer. But right now we're in discussions with several industry leaders and venture funds, by the way, from different parts of the world, to expand on our reach in sectors like AI, blockchain, sustainable technology. One of those initiatives we're particularly excited about, and forgive me if I'm going to be very elusive in my answer, because we don't have a confirmation or we don't have a final agreement to actually announce it. One of the initiatives is a partnership with a UAE-based initiative that's focused on building a very specific industry sector, and they want to have an incubation vertical there. And our discussion is, how can we be the incubator for their initiative? So that discussion is on the table, and that's very industry specific. Unfortunately, we're not there yet, and I cannot really announce it. But that's one of them. But other partnerships that we're also aiming to have. myqubator, as you questioned, what if there's a vertical out there, is an application that we don't understand the space? Our model is to, once we've crossed the 24 months milestone that we've set for ourselves, where we can prove the myqubator model, we want to divest into specific sectors. So we want to have myqubator health tech, myqubator insurtech, and in these cases, etc. And in these cases, what happens is every component will have, or every vertical will have, specialized team management that works with the startups with that specific knowledge or that industry expertise. And that's a big part of our future plan. So that's the myqubator vertical. On another hand, something that we're doing right now, which we're doing with different countries, we're building a scouting program to connect startups from these regions with myqubator. So we're looking at we're talking about Brazil, we're talking about Denmark, we're talking about Sweden, we're talking about Lithuania. So Latvia, we have few countries that we've already initiated discussions with. Germany is one of them, where we hope to attract our scout for applications from very specific universities, hubs, etc., that we can attract to the UAE. So we truly believe the future lies in these collaborations, and that's what we need to bring to the UAE as part of the myqubator uniqueness. Is that quality of startups, these quality of founders that are not yet coming to the UAE because the ecosystem here has not reached that level of maturity yet, if I may say that.
I think it was a great proof of concept and use case that we launched, because I'm pretty sure like some of the kind of audience have heard about this proof of humanity, or even like some scandals around the biometrics of like certain companies, etc. But we need to understand that, and why we like this identifier is that it's an ability for a person to prove that their personhood, to prove their personhood in the digital realm. And that is, I would say, like a filtering capability from the bots and autonomous agents that are arising with the kind of growth of the AI. And this is already a great problem. So it's a very, very tangible problem that we have experienced over social networks in terms of the misinformation, or we have experienced from like fake news, or like all this kind of the proliferation of this content that is generated by these autonomous agents. And it's super hard to distill what is real, who stands behind this as a real person, or is it just the content that you get flooded and influenced in the end, right? So proof of humanity is this very unique identifier that is purely born out of the realm to counterfeit these bots. And we saw that apart from like understanding that there won't be a single standard, or how do we identify or verify ourselves as humans, and I'm pretty sure this will be I don't know, some based on some biometrics, another one will be based on some social graph, another one could be based on like, I don't know, signatures of a community, and others are proving you being a human. So there will be all these variations of how do we prove our humanhood within the digital realm. But at the end of the day, this aggregator notion was exactly deployed to show that. So all these service providers we aggregated had a different verification processes of your humanhood. But in the end, the result was the same. So you as a human were given a chance to have access or get rewarded or participate in this or that campaign. What's unique about it, and I think our approach in collaboration with all these great names, was that we didn't want it to just build out the solution or an infrastructure and talk about it from like philosophical perspective, but we wanted to bring on the market end-to-end use case. So with this collaboration and the aggregator, what we did is we integrated it with the Galaxy, which is a Quest platform generating all these activities around the project. And another one we ran in Decentraland with DCL curations in a library, which was more like an knowledge-based experience. Your avatar would go, like, learn about these digital identities, then would take a quiz that goes through this verification process and receive even this kind of memorable digital swag and hoodie with all the logos that you're not a robot, and participate in the kind of reward campaigns around. I think like both experiences are still live, so people can go and tap into. We had quite a significant interest and people going through like end-to-end verification process and getting this badge of being a human and participating in these campaigns. But yeah, I think it was unique from that exact example. So it was first time the tangible product of why and how the proof of humanhood will be used and could be used in a digital realm.
One of the key challenge, and I feel like if anyone's listening to my podcast before or interviews that I did, you're going to feel like I sound like a broken record because I keep saying it all the time. But vanity metrics, like Web3 marketing is built on vanity metrics. It's a house of cards. So vanity metrics are basically empty followers. So, well, airdrops are a great way to do this, and platforms like Galaxy or Zili are great in bringing people who are very reward driven, but they're not people who are actually users. Like they're clicking follow, they're clicking like, they're tagging you on social media as like social farming. So they write like, you must see these posts like farm param, farm bubble, farm whatever.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
it's
that.
Not bringing quality. It's because they are getting points to get rewards for doing these actions, but they're not going to convert into being your users. And it's understandable because people, you know, someone else listed the project, oh, it's got 1 million followers, like they must be great. But these followers are accounts that were created yesterday and like, you know, just random accounts with no value. You go like, oh, like so many people are using this. Like, no, you've got centralized exchanges. You go to a centralized exchange and they're like, I've got this huge community, and the centralized exchange they said is like, oh yeah, great. Even they look at like Google Analytics when you launch a token. But then if you do a task for a community and reward them for clicking to the site, like these are not visits and entries from valuable users. So this is actually where our analytics come into place, because then you can see how they're performing on chain and actually like gauge their quality. If you see like you've got 1 million people who connected their wallet, but these wallets have less than $10 in them and their transaction volume is very small, like, is this project really big, or is this project pretending to be big, just growing vanity metrics? What after this project launches a token? What happens after this project give out all the rewards? Is this traffic going to stick? Well, probably not if it's just vanity metrics.
I remember seeing, I think it was, people say call it out by name, and I never did, but I want to say BitBoy Crypto put a post on Twitter. 2 seconds later, he had 1,000 likes. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the post arrive, and I'm looking at the 1,000 likes. And I'm like, how did that happen? You know. And then I see other influencers who have like 1 million followers, but you don't know what they have in their wallet or anything. They just and then dumping on their followers. I guess that's the danger. There's some dangers in vanity metrics. What should people look out for? You know, with the vanity metrics.
Exactly. And then you've said a very important thing about the influencers. So something that we're doing with Cookie through Affiliate, once, you know, they start participating in the campaigns, you're actually able to see maybe an influencer with 5 million followers is like so diluted that he's got loads of followers, but he isn't bringing quality audience to you. And maybe like a micro influencer that's got like, let's say 30,000 followers will actually bring you more quality and engaged users, because he's got a small tight-knit community that really follows them and really believes into what they do. So it's like, we in Web3 marketing, we need more like proof, social proof and on-chain proof. Like entire Web3 talks about, you know, transparency, decentralization, and being able to prove, like trustless proving on what's happening. So let's start utilizing it in marketing as well.
An ideas sled. What is an idea sled, and why should thought leaders get on board the sled?
Yeah, so I kind of touched on this when I'm talking about the black hole of content marketing. Life inside that black hole is really unpleasant. You're just like churning out stuff all the time. It's painful, it's slow. A lot of these institutions, there's 20 people, like there should never be 20 people working on a thought leadership initiative, but everyone's got a little job title and everyone has a little slice of it. And by the time you push it through the bureaucracy, it's this painful, slow, annoying process. And if you are someone who's in the right position to be a thought leader, a senior exec, a strong innovator, someone with a really market leading point of view, the last thing you want to do is get involved in another one of these marketing train wrecks that like months later you end up with the thing that the writer delivered and you're like, I don't even know where to start on how to fix this. And this happens very often. The idea sled is like, what I'm really trying to say is it's the opposite. I know this word gets used a little bit too much, but it's more of like the vibe of thought leadership where like instead of seeing it as like this big, cumbersome, marketing driven, bureaucratic process, what if you just don't do it that way? And you think about thought leadership being fast and fun and fearless, like being willing to go out on a little bit on a ledge in terms of some of these ideas, or you go up, maybe the hill is kind of steep and you're going to go down really fast. It's going to be that forward momentum, but that's really it, is like creating an approach to thought leadership that if you are a thought leader or a stakeholder or an expert, you want to do it. It's fun. You want to go on that ride again. And that's a lot of what I try to instill with my clients. It's not just, oh, we did it. We finally published this thing after 6 months. It's no, we did it and we want to do another one. I want to go again. I want to go again. And that's why I call it the idea sled.
Awesome.
It's also a fun pun because the part of the origin story of this is that when I thought of renaming my company Ideas-Led Growth, one of the first things I pictured was, what does that domain look like? Well, it's ideasledgrowth.com. And then I had a moment of hesitation. People are going to see Ideas-Led, not Ideas-Led. And then what I realized is, oh, that's actually the story.
I get it now.
Right? It's a fun little play on words, but it also kind of, that's the kind of fun that I like to include. Thought leadership can be very serious and very, very deep, but the process of engaging in it should be fun.
Got it. I hope you enjoyed the 5th episode of the Crypto Hipsters Curtain Calls. I'm going to bring you about 67. I'm going to bring you 67 crypto hipsters curtain calls. I made it a tongue twister. I don't know why. Hey, it is what it is. Enjoy. So please, you can listen to this and watch it on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts. You can listen to it on iHeartRadio. All my podcasts are on Spotify from all my seasons. And enjoy and at the end of the day we have questions. I have questions. Always ask, let me know your thoughts. Well, let me know your thoughts about this one. Let me know your thoughts about content creation, the importance of it. If it's important to have human to human contact instead of human to bot, or bot to AI, or human to AI, or AI to everybody, as far as content creation and intellectual property management. Why is that important? Why is owning your content in Web3 very important? Crypto Hipster. At Crypto Hipster, I own all my content. That's one of the benefits of working and enjoying life in Web3. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you join me for the next one. Next one will be, Crypto Hipsters Curtain Calls, episode 6. We're going to talk about Solana. 4 interviews I had with people who are building on the Solana blockchain. So enjoy. Thank you for tuning in.
I could have